Welcome to the Eureka Street Crypto Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting from Leander, Texas. It is 6:18 in the morning, and it's July 12th, 2022, and this is my morning video blog, aka Brain Dump, where I dump to you all the things that I see on Twitter and I like and I bookmark, and even LinkedIn has some decent articles as of late, so hey man, I don't know, but people are posting like Facebook style, hyper emotional and political stuff on LinkedIn as well. So it's, I never liked LinkedIn anyway, but it's gone, it's kind of, brought some of the Facebook element, since there's the great migration off of Facebook, and it's also brought some decent stuff too, with Web3 and crypto starting to post some more articles about innovations and stuff like that as of late. So it's a double-edged sword with LinkedIn. Anyway, so yeah, it's my brain dump. It's my sandbox where I play with audio and visual. And I apologize for the terrible audio that I've had for like the past 3 episodes. I've been trying to figure something out. I was working with some filters and stuff like that, trying to get some live effects and live filters on there to eliminate a step in my post-production process, but it wasn't working out well. Then something got stuck. Some setting got stuck somewhere, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was. And I thought it was in my my post-production audio program, but it wasn't. It was actually in this live streaming software, OBS, online broadcasting system, a service or whatever software that I use. And yeah, I figured it out. I'm pretty sure. So if it's still wonky, then I have no excuse. I'm just terrible at this stuff. But that's what this is. This is a sandbox. And, if something doesn't work out, in one episode, I'm not going to go back and redo and edit it. I'm still going to publish it, because that's the point of the show. It's a long progression of events of showing how you can come into a space knowing nothing, and then coming out the other end a completely changed person. And I would say that my life has changed because I started doing this, and I'm learning audio and visual. I'm learning about outside things from podcasts and news, and then I'm learning about myself through me practicing my ability to communicate myself and learning what I'm good and what I'm bad at communicating. And then this is also my message in a bottle, this show. And this message in a bottle is out there to all people curious about Web3 and crypto. It's me reaching out to talk to other people besides just my friends and family who probably sick of hearing about crypto and stuff like that. I could talk to a wall about crypto, but I'd prefer to talk to you guys. And, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's move on over here to the CoinGecko. I don't have a lot of like hard-hitting topics today, but I got some regular old stuff, and I got some Twitter bookmarks that I've saved, and I really just kind of wanted to honestly test out the sound and make sure the sound had corrected it, or that I corrected the sound. So that's really mainly what this episode is about. It's more me like doing technical shit. All right. So Bitcoin, let me go ahead and just refresh this page. I don't think I've refreshed it since yesterday. So it was at 20,561. I'm thinking it'll still be right around 20,000. Let's see here. Oh, CoinGecko. You could use CoinGecko. You could use CoinMarketCap, Coin Paprika, Coin Codex. There's like a billion of them out there. There's some paid ones out there like Token Metrics and Masari, If you really want to get into the nitty gritty, you could use things like Glassnode that follows and tracks like miner activity for Bitcoin and stuff like that, and how long wallets have been holding and stuff like that. How many new wallets there are. It gets down to like super nitty gritty information. Look at this, down to $19,672.57. I had mentioned a couple of days ago that I had sold off a lot of my alt tokens, and I'm consolidating down to Bitcoin and Ethereum for the most part. And it's a safe place to be right now during this bear market. If you're new to this space, I mean, it's not financial advice because I don't do that, but like, don't go into these to the moon rocket, innovative technology projects. Trust me, I have seen lots of innovative technology, in quotes, in the white paper look amazing. And I have, talked about them on the show, these projects, and then they've gone to zero because that's all they are, is a white paper and lots of promises and everything like that. But when the market starts getting a little volatile, when things start getting a little rowdy, the project just kind of seems to get shaken up. And I don't think that, some, people, and I've listened to this Bitcoiner Maxi the other day, he's convinced that everything besides Bitcoin is a scam, and that includes Ethereum, a total scam, and that they are intentionally out there to, create this scam, and that it's all VC money being dumped in and pumped and dumped, and then the retail people like you and me are the bag holders. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of element of truth to that, and I'm sure that there are a lot of projects out there. I mean, if you go and you scroll down to the bottom of CoinGecko here, there's like thousands of these crypto projects. It goes on to 135 pages worth of these, of each page being 100. So that's a lot of crypto projects, 100 times 135 pages. Yeah. Do the math, that's a lot. These crypto projects are not going to be life-changing. That's why I never really go on to the next tab over, whenever I'm talking about these crypto prices, because I don't care. Like, I do like a lot, I'll talk about some projects. Like I talked about, Lens Protocol the other day, I talked about Tornado Cash and things like that just stand out, that have some kind of cool utility and innovation, that have something to do with the web, with the Web3 space, and that's what I'm talking about. I don't talk about this stuff for speculation and trying to find the next moon token. Like, if some token project has a cool idea, like, I'm down with that, man. Let's talk about it. But if it's just like, this is going to be 100x, you got to invest now, no, dude, if somebody's talking like that, turn it off. Like, seriously, you don't need to sit there and waste your time and brain power on that type of stuff, So if you're new to the space, you're not going to 100x. This stuff takes work, and it takes research and brain power. It takes dedication. If you want to get further involved, you have to learn how to code. It's just, yeah, man. Like, I'm involved in DAOs, and the most money I've made in crypto have not been through speculation and in tokens raising in value. It's been through work. It's been through interacting with others in DAOs and working on projects together, and creating podcasts and things like that. And it's been fun, and I love it, but it takes work, and yeah. So anyway, Bitcoin's at $19,672.57. Ethereum is down to $1,000.62.68. A lot of people called it a bear trap, as what the crypto market was in, and that was that little pump, and just enough to trap some of the bears. And no, bull trap. I'm sorry, bull trap. It was just enough of a pump to to trap some of the bulls, and then everything continues to tank down further. And so we'll see where this goes. Are we at the bottom? I don't know. I mean, who am I? So anyway, we have Tether, USDC, and Binance USD all in the top 10, and then DAI down here at number 12. Those are all stable coins equal to $1. And anything else of like a major significance? Polygon's still pumping. I mean, up 15.1% in the past 7 days. It's one of the only green ones on this chart, like literally. The Quant Network. I used to have some Quant Network. I actually made some decent money off of speculating off of Quant, and that's up 37.3%. The Quant Network it aims to be like an interoperability token for a lot of banker networks, so banks can talk to each other easily. It's definitely a World Economic Forum bankers type of token. I got out of all tokens that have, are deep in the World Economic Forum's pockets. I know Ethereum is, so I mean, okay, sorry. But, like Quant is like deliberately, same thing with XRP, so I'm trying to, not feed that machine as much as I possibly can. So I don't know, it's just a little bit, but you try to do your part, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, so and the Serum network is up 30.2% in the past 7 days. Never heard of this. This is a number 100 token. Anyway, so let's go over here to the old Tweeter, and today I'm going to talk about this thread that I found called "Fake File Extension Scam," and this is not a new scam. I mean, this scam has been around since the beginning of the internet, it seems, since PDFs have been around, which is a long, long time. Anyway, scammers are spoofing file extensions to disguise malicious files as PDFs and targeting artists, influencers, and projects, because artists and influencers, we don't know jack squat. I'm not a programmer, even though I do know quite a bit about programming, and I have programmed in the past, like things like PHP and, some SQL stuff, web development type of stuff. I've dabbled in some Solidity. I just have the hardest time setting up the development environments. I can never get the freaking version to work on my computer. And that's why I've had stumbling blocks with learning programming. And anyway, let's look at this thread. Let's see here. In this case, artist at Rabbit NM, or maybe Rabbi 10M, I don't know, was first messaged about a commission for his art. He was sent a zip file containing what the customer wanted with examples and sketches. What seemed to be a normal commission turned bad when the artist went to view the customer's request. So let's take a look at this request here. I don't really open zip files sent to me by even people I trust on the internet, honestly, because who knows, maybe they could unintentionally be sending something from somebody else that they think is legit. And then now here I am trusting this other person, and it's sent by somebody to this person, this artist called Waifu. I was trying to explain this to my wife what Waifu was the other day, and I felt good because I'm 10 years older than her, and sometimes I feel the generational gap. Like I liked Mr. Wizard whenever I was a kid, and she liked Bill Nye the Science Guy, and those were like 10 years generation apart. And man, and my sister at the time, she liked New Kids on the Block when we were growing up, and my wife, she liked was it Backstreet Boys? It's like about 10-year difference right there, and sometimes you just feel that gap. You're like, oh man, but anyway, this time I explained to her what waifu meant, and so I had the heads up on her, and she's like, oh wow. Okay. Anyway, it says here, I found you on Twitter. I really liked your artwork. Do you have any artwork on the marketplace? Could you show your portfolio? I want to look at them. And so this artist is like, hello, you can click on my OpenSea on my bio, sir. It's spelled SER because that's like a crypto thing, Web3 thing. You don't say sir, you say sir. SER. Anyway, how do you do, fellow kids? Okay, and then so they're showing the art, and this too. Wow, that's beautiful. Can you draw art for me? I want to make a gift for my mother. She's into art. I would like to make a gift. Can I ask you to do it? Naturally, I'll pay you for your work. Okay, can you tell me what picture you want? And may you pay me in advance. Reasonable request from an artist, or at least some kind of deposit. Says, I have some sketches that I drew myself, and I also took examples of ready-made arts of other artists. I want to send you examples. Can you give me your email? I want you to do it in your own style. Okay. You can send it in here, sir. I can't send the PDF file. Please give me email. Okay, wait. And then they give the email, and it's blotted out for, obviously safety, security reasons. And so have you sent it? Hey, sorry for my late reply. Wait 5 minutes. I will send you the archive with arts, PDF file, and videos, sketches in the PDF files. Password for the archive is sketches 2022. And then it says, I've seen it. Does it have to be 3D? If yes, I can't. I can only do 2D. And then he says sketches in the PDF file. Okay. All right. So that's the basic message. Nothing like really stands out, looks crazy alarming in there, except for the fact that, terrible grammar. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe they're not American or whatever, English speakers, but yeah, man. Anyway, I'm just a grammar Nazi. I did study languages, and yeah. But I find myself using terrible grammar sometimes too. Most of the time it's intentionally. Anyway, the second part in this thread, after opening the zip file, we can see the example art along with the PDF file containing the customer's sketches. However, this isn't a regular PDF file. It is actually a screensaver file, .scr file, which is an executable script disguised as a PDF file. So have you seen whenever you're downloading a file, it has .exe at the end or .msi or something like that? That is like some kind of executable file that runs a program on your computer. So these .scr files, you can disguise them and you can change the file extension. And there's an option in Windows for you to be able to show file extensions, and you can change those file extensions. Okay, so here we are. Let's look at these screensavers. That's some pretty decent art, who knows where this person got this art? They're a scammer, so they have all these, JPEGs in here and everything like that. And then they have this PDF file in there, kind of just stuck right in there, as sketches, 13. So July 13th, 2022 .pdf. Okay. Yeah, that's their sketches. And so if you go over here and you right click on the file, and you go to properties, you can see that the file is indeed not a PDF file. .pdf is only part of the name of the file. The actual type of file is screensaver.scr. Okay, so that's a program. That is not good. All right, so let's go down here. After the artist opened the PDF to view the sketches, all of his NFTs were listed and sold, and all his Ethereum was transferred to the scammer's wallet. Oh, wow. I can keep expanding out, but we can clearly see the exorbitant amount of wallets involved. So let's take a look. So it ran a script on his computer, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. 4 ETH stolen, 0.12 ETH stolen, 0.036 ETH stolen. So so let's take a look at how this was done. Hold on, let's look at this other picture here, this other picture example. So the last one showed an Etherscan wallet for the audio listeners, and it showed the transactions that happened. I'm not really sure what this graphic is. I don't know, some other visual of different type of wallet transfer destination. So I guess that's the map of where those NFTs went, and the route that they were taken and where they are now, or they may have disappeared, whatever. So how did he do this? Simple extension spoofing. He changed the file name and added .pdf to the end, then changes the file's icon to a PDF icon. He also filled the file with junk code to exceed the virus total's maximum file size of 650 megabytes. So that fools, because a lot of times PDF files, if they're like super small, then it can bypass some kind of bug hunters and virus hunters and things like that. So if you fill it with tons of junk code, and basically meaning just typing and typing and typing and typing and just random crap, probably just commenting, which don't get read by the machine, but fill up a file. You can exceed a file size of 650 megabytes. It can bypass some virus filters that way. Artists aren't the only people being targeted by this scam. Being advertised as a pitch deck, and you see somebody coming with a Canva pitch deck of some kind of Figma presentation or something like that, that they've printed out as a PDF, maybe some kind of PowerPoint that they've, printed out the slides as a PDF. So, be careful for stuff like that. So being advertised as a pitch deck or a media kit as well, logo, guidelines and things like that, So being advertised as a pitch deck, influencers, promoters, and projects have been targeted recently, with many people losing control over their wallets and accounts, having everything completely wiped. This is an old Web2 scam tactic, and it's possible with any and all file types. How do you avoid this? Don't carelessly download or open random files. Always check the file type, research and study basic Web2 security. So if you need to open any files, put them on a Google Drive and view it there. So credit John HQ for bringing this up, or use a virtual machine. I personally use both. This is automatically turned off by default, but you can enable file type extensions by clicking View at the top of your File Explorer and then enabling file name extensions. This will show the file extensions for all files. So in Windows, and I'm sure in Mac, you can show the file extensions, and there's an option in the a lot of the file options, File Explorer options, and you can turn it on by showing file extensions. I always turn it on. I like to see what file extensions there are. It's just, yeah. Some people ask to go further into detail. Screensaver.scr files are executable and can run any code. It is basically a .exe file. How would they compromise your wallet through this? Well, from this point, we can assume your entire PC is compromised. So you just have to burn it, dip it in hydrochloric acid and get rid of it. Drop it into the ocean. Actually, don't do that. That's very polluting. Yeah, you get the idea. All of your cookies, passwords, extension data, everything is scraped. For example, they could change your MetaMask extension to a modified and malicious version even. If they can get pretty crafty. Or more simply, they could just wait for you to log in and access your MetaMask and they'll have everything. They have something called keyloggers as well that can trace your keys. And that has happened to me before, a long time ago, but it did happen to me. Lots of different ways to go about it. But if you do fall for this attack, you can assume your PC is compromised. I would recommend resetting it, creating a new wallet, and changing all your passwords on everything. So yeah, just one of those little things, man. So let's see. Somebody asked, would this still work if you have a ledger attached? Wouldn't they still need the physical confirmation for the transfers or listings to the physical ledger? I understand the rest of your computer would be compromised. I'm specifically asking about the wallet of NFTs. So a lot of people have what's called a ledger. It's a flash drive and it's for cold storage. I don't have one sitting here, but it's for you to be able to detach store your crypto and your keys and everything. Not necessarily your crypto's on the blockchain, but to store your keys to your crypto on the Ledger wallet, and then you detach it from your computer, and it's in what's called cold storage, and that's definitely the most secure thing you can do. However, there have been a lot of Ledger hacks and things like that of people finding ways to compromise these ledgers. So let's see what the response is to this guy's question. This is a good question. Would it still work if you had a ledger attached? So let's see if anybody responded. Quickly reach out. Ow, geez. So now you're just scared. Quickly reach out to ZTech Hack on Instagram for recovery. He helped me recover my lost when I had similar issues too. So be careful what you post on things like Twitter as well. Don't use the words MetaMask in any type of post because you'll immediately get all types of scammers. And this was a scammer here. They scraped Twitter for the word ledger, and quickly reach out to ZTech Hack on Instagram for recovery. Do not reach out to ZTech on Hack. That is a scam. So yeah, this person did not get an answer to their question. But let's see. Oh, somebody posted a really good question. This thread skips the most important step. How opening an .scr file compromises MetaMask wallets. Okay. Because your PC is compromised, your MetaMask is compromised. Okay. The poster said, maybe I could have gone into that. I did bring up the screensaver files or executable scripts, but I wanted to stay on the topic of extension spoofing rather than diving into how executable files compromise wallets. Well, I want to hear about this. So I agree. The more information, the better here. Let's see if they actually go into it, because this is a really important topic. Okay, so people saying, come on, dude, let's talk about the actual screensavers. Okay, so you read the memory for, okay, would this still work if you had ledger attached? Oh man, so they haven't gone into exactly why the .scr file executes and compromises the MetaMask wallet. So if you read the memory for when the MetaMask extension is unlocked, okay, that's what happens, or something like that. Normally your seed phrase is encrypted using a passphrase, but when you unlock your wallet, the seed phrase will be loaded in plain old text. Okay. So yes, you can, if you can get the passphrase, the password to your MetaMask wallet, which they can through key logging and stuff like that, and by running the script, once they can get that, they can go into your MetaMask wallet and use that passphrase to expose your seed phrase. So your MetaMask vault data is in your Chrome local storage, encrypted. You take the encrypted text, go to MetaMask Vault Decryptor, put it in the data along with a password, then it will be decrypted. Once decrypted, it will show your seed phrase in plain text. Huh. All right, man. Well, there it is. That's how they specifically, get your MetaMask data. Is this when we click on the show recovery phrase button in MetaMask, or is MetaMask always loading this up in the background whenever we turn on our computer and log on with our MetaMask and the password? And so, nope, it's always there. Any chance .scr files disguised as .pdf or any other executable themselves just by being saved to the drive without being opened manually by the target user? So just because you download the .scr file disguised as that PDF file doesn't mean that your system is compromised. So if you happen to accidentally download the file, you're not in hot water. You'll be okay. Just don't run it. Don't open that file, and just delete that file as fast as you can. Take it to your recycle bin and empty your recycle bin. So yeah, so he said no is what the poster said, that it doesn't compromise just by downloading it. He said, wondered since June 2021 if .scr exploits rely on remote desktop actions from the hacker. If not, the GUI they use to carry out the exploit once informed that the payload has been opened. And then somebody responded, they just need to read the memory, and probably if .scr supports VB scripting, you can easily read the memory. I mean, you can use VB to make CSGO hacks, so it's possible to do this. Interesting. Well, okay. That was an interesting thread, fake file extension scams. Look out for it. It definitely was something, over 10 years ago. That was a thing, watch out for the PDFs, watch out what you download, watch out for zip files, watch out, for the fake file extension. And I've always known that, but now it's back, and with every new innovation in technology, there will be new scams, and sometimes they will bring back the old scams with just kind of a new face on it. And so watch out. Don't open things like PowerPoint presentation in PDF format, Canva, branding guidelines and things like that. Sketches in PDF format, unless you really, really know that person. And then even on top of that, ask that person where they got that file from, if they've opened it before on their machine, and don't worry, most people won't get offended. They realize that this is a wild place and that it's okay to ask questions like that. And so if they get defensive, then they probably meant to do it. All right. So that being said, I think I'll go ahead and call this one a day. I'm going to go out and get some exercise and start this day off right before it gets to be like 109 degrees out. That's literally, yesterday was like 109 degrees, and it cooled down around 8:30 to a cool 100 degrees. So yeah, now I understand why, the Spanish had siestas in the middle of the day, right around 3 o'clock, 2 and 3 o'clock, because it got so damn hot. All right, man. Well, I will talk to you all later. Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.